Time to go live. Going live, going live, going live, going live. I'm alive. I think I'm live. Apologies, I don't really know what just happened. I was doing a stream just before this. If you're watching the playback and you don't actually realise I did a stream before this, I was. And basically, as soon as I got to the main topic, well, as soon as I was about to talk about the first main topic on the live stream cut off, so I just had to restart my whole computer. I don't really know what's going on there, but fingers crossed it doesn't cut out this time. And yeah, may as well go from the beginning again. So hello and welcome to my 20th live stream on I Have a Lot to Say. It's going to be a comment there. Hello, welcome to my 20th live stream. And basically, if you don't know what these are, essentially once or twice or even 3 times a week, I talk about current movie and TV topics going on in the world right now. So this week we can talk about Suicide Squad, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and a bit of Spider-Man No Way Home. Maybe not in the way you might expect, but you get the point. About once or twice or even 3 times a week, I talk about something that's going on in the current movie and TV world right now. And at the same time though, I'll also be answering any live questions sent in during this live stream. So if you have a live question you want to send in and you want me to answer it, please do put it in the live question or the live chat below, and I will hope to answer the best as possible during this live stream. Also, if you want me to talk about a topic in particular in my next live stream, please do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably talk about it in my next live stream or the live stream after that. But anyway, also I should say at the same time, is I live in the countryside, and my hay fever's not the best at the moment, so if any reason I do sneeze in this live stream, I do apologise. It hasn't happened yet, but you know, I'm not going to count my chickens. But yes, if I do sneeze at any point during this live stream, I do apologise. Also at the same time though, I also live next to a main road, quite literally it's just there, so if by any means you hear like some motorbikes or some trucks or some tractors going past at any point during this live stream, I do apologise. I can't control that. If it interferes with the sound in this live stream, I do apologise. But anyway, you get my point. That's what this live stream is about. There's some housekeeping announcements. Without further ado, let's get into my main topics today. I got to pass out really quickly, more quicker than I did on the live stream just before. So honestly, I don't know what just happened. I just went into my main topics, and the live stream just completely cut out, and so I just restarted my laptop and everything. Hopefully it works. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into my main topics today. My main topics I'm talking about today are my anticipation for the Suicide Squad, which I'm seeing tomorrow, my opinion on the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer, which was released a couple of days ago now, and why I think we don't have the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer yet, and you might be interested to hear my opinion on that as well later on in this live stream. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into my first main topic today, and my first main topic today is my anticipation for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Now, honestly, this has been one of my most anticipated movies for the year since really the start of the year, to be honest, because the reason I'm excited for this movie is down to one name, and that name is James Gunn. Just gonna check if things going on. Yeah. I just had to double check if that was actually public there on the live stream. For some reason I didn't think it was. But yes, everything's going on the live stream. Just checking the audio. Okay, yes, sorry. But anyway, back to the main topic. The reason I'm excited for this movie is for the sole reason of James Gunn. I don't know who James Gunn is, like I said before. He directed the Guardians of the Galaxy films. He directed Slavery. He's a great director. And he's the reason that I'm excited for this film. Because I didn't really like the MCU up to about Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I like the first Iron Man, but then I didn't really like the MCU up to the point that I saw the first Guardians of the Galaxy film. And pardon me there, by the way, I had some lunch before I did this live stream today, but anyway, pardon me. But yeah, you get my point. I wasn't really a fan of the MCU until I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and then because of James Gunn's, distinctive stamp on Guardians of the Galaxy, that's what got me into the MCU. Although I haven't loved every single MCU film since Guardians of the Galaxy, I've liked more than like Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, and obviously Guardians of the Galaxy 2, more than I thought I was going to, because I kind of got into James Gunn's feel of those MCU films. And then after Guardians of the Galaxy 2 though, and some things that went on behind the scenes, James Gunn actually got fired from Marvel and was hired by DC to do this film. And by the way, when you hear what happened between DC and James Gunn, basically, like, DC just rang up James Gunn and said, "Can you do me for us?" And he was like, well, then DC was like, "We'll offer you anything." And apparently he was offered a Superman movie, by the way. So he chose a Suicide Squad movie over a Superman movie, which I just find really, really interesting. But basically, DC rang up James Gunn and said, "So can you make a movie for us?" And he was like, "Okay, can I do the Suicide Squad?" And then basically, DC just said something like, "We'd like Margot to be in it, but she didn't have to be. Obviously, Margot will be there, who plays Harley Quinn." So DC was like, "We would like Margot to be in it, but she didn't have to be. But everything else, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want in this film and have any character you want in there." And James Gunn quite literally just went wild. I mean, look at the characters we have in this film. King Shark is quite literally a CGI shark voiced by none other than Rocky and Rambo himself, Sylvester Stallone. And then you have like Polka Dot Man in there, and you have like just all these really weird characters you really wouldn't expect in a DC movie, in a big live action DC movie. You might expect them like an animated DC movie, but in a live-action DC movie. And the fact is, like, this movie is a 15. It's a 15. It's not a 12. It's not going to appeal to all these kids like an MCU movie might. No, this movie is a 15. And James Gunn got like such a big budget just to work with, and he's just got the freedom to go wild. They just literally DC just said, have complete control. I just go wild with this movie, and that's what I love about that's what I love about the build to this movie and everything. The fact that James Gunn just has the freedom to do whatever he wants in this movie, which has got me so excited. I mean, I've enjoyed the James Gunn superhero movies so far. I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy. That's my favorite MCU film, and I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy 2, by the way, as well. I think that's a great movie. But things though. The fact that it's had more creative freedom with the Suicide Squad has got me even more excited. I mean, I can't wait to see what the show's going to be like, because from what I'm hearing, it's got James Gunn's hands all over, and at the same time, though, the cast looks incredible. I mean, only have Margot Robbie return as a Harley Quinn, and by the way, there's no other person in the world that could play Harley Quinn other than, Margot Robbie. They can play Harley Quinn so well. You also have, Jay Courtney returning as a Boomerang, and he looks like he's better in this Suicide Squad. I must admit, I'm not a fan of the 2016 Suicide Squad film. I think it's just boring and bland. It's got some interesting moments in there to a degree, but when you hear what happened behind the scene in that film, like, apparently the studio completely screwed around the film because they wanted their own Guardians of the Galaxy in the first Suicide Squad film, and then funny enough, they actually got the director of Guardians of the Galaxy to do the second Suicide Squad, but the second Suicide Squad film. But the thing is, though, when you hear what went on behind the scenes with the first Suicide Squad film, you do kind of feel sorry for David Ayer, the director, because obviously he actually wanted to make a different movie, and then DC wanted to make a different movie as well, and so they had a bit of a clash there. But honestly, I don't really like the first Suicide Squad movie, but saying that though, I can't believe how excited I am for this new one. I mean, for one hand, it's not a sequel, and it's not really a reboot, although it kind of is a reboot, in my opinion, but that's the kind of way I see it. But the thing is, though, it's not a sequel, apparently. It's just got some of the same characters in there, like Joel Kinnaman's in there, who played one of the characters in the first film. I can't remember that film that much. Honestly, I've only watched the first Suicide Squad once a while. Okay, I lie. I watched it one time, and then I watched half of it again when my mates around once, and they wanted to watch it, and I just thought it was awful when I was watching it the second time. I really did. I had to turn it off because I was bored so much. But I watched the first time and I didn't like it, but nevertheless, there was some interesting parts of that film. I enjoyed Harley Quinn. I enjoyed Margot Robbie's performance as Harley Quinn in the first Suicide Squad film, and so I'm quite excited to see her again in the Suicide Squad. I even enjoyed her Birds of Prey, which is a film, by the way, I enjoy. I enjoy Birds of Prey. I know there's a lot of misogynists on the internet who don't like Birds of Prey, and a lot of people just don't like Birds of Prey in general. That's fine, but at the same time, though, I quite enjoy it. But saying that, though, the Suicide Squad just looks all James Gunn and just looks fantastic in the best way possible. Something I actually love about the DC universe is that all the movies are distinctive and different. One thing DC is never the same. Unlike Marvel, I personally think Marvel actually didn't have that distinctive direction you want in most of their films. Unlike Marvel, DC always try and do something different in their movies, like whether it's Shazam, Wonder Woman, Batman vs Superman. Say all about Batman vs Superman. I don't really like it that much either, but you can clearly tell it's a Zack Snyder film over, say, I don't know, Aquaman. There's things like that, and that's what I really like about DC, the fact that all the movies are different. I know I'm never going to go into a DC movie and see something I saw which was similar in, say, Aquaman, which I saw before, and something like that. So say, if I go and watch Birds of Prey, I know I'm not going to get something like I did in Shazam or Aquaman, which is something I really like about the DC, unlike Marvel. When I go and watch Black Widow, I had a feeling it'd be like a Captain America film, and I was right in the end. But that's neither here nor there. If you like Black Widow, I'm not saying you can't like Black Widow or anything like that. I'm just personally giving my opinion. Personally, I like Black Widow, but that's fine. But anyway, saying that though, let's go back onto the main topic. I'm very, very excited for the Suicide Squad for so many reasons, and my excitement only gets stronger. I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm not actually sure when I'm seeing it tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm seeing it earlier rather than later. There's a chance I might be seeing it later because I've actually got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. But the thing is, though, not that matters to you guys at all. But the thing is, though, I'm seeing the movie tomorrow, and I can't fucking wait. I don't normally swear on this channel, but I can't fucking wait for this movie. Honestly, I'm so excited for it. I really am. I mean, just the cast looks incredible. We have Peter Capaldi in there, who played the 12th Doctor. I never thought I'd see the guy who played the 12th Doctor in a comic book movie, nevertheless a DC movie, nevertheless a movie directed by James Gunn, and it's kind of wild and everything. I think the cast is incredible. My God, if you manage to balance all these characters well, wow, because there's so many characters in this film. Taika Waititi is somehow in this film as well. That's been confirmed a while back. I don't know who he's playing. I have a theory, and I might be completely wrong here, but I have a theory that, Taika Waititi is voicing the big starfish we've seen in the trailers, we've seen hinted at. And by the way, in the UK where I live, there's actually in Leicester Square. I mean, I don't actually live in Leicester Square. I live way away from Leicester Square. But in Leicester Square in London, there's actually a big starfish unveiled by Peter Capaldi himself from the new movie, and it's just like this giant starfish from the Suicide Squad. I just thought, wow. I just saw it online the other day, and I just thought, wow, it was quite incredible. But anyway, you get my point. I find it wild the things that James is going to go away with in the movie. I mean, literally, some of the characters, apart from Harley Quinn, really, are all unknown. I mean, Boomerang, people quite know Boomerang after the first Suicide Squad film. But other than that, okay, some people know King Shark as well, because I heard it in the Flash TV show. But other than, what, 3 characters, people don't really know the characters in the film. Obviously, have Idris, you have, your famous acting as well. You have Idris Elba, you have John Cena, you have, Margot Robbie, and you also have Sylvester Stallone voicing a shark, which is genius, by the way. But apart from the famous actors, and, well, not really that many famous actors of that, though, and apart from, a couple of relatively known characters. I mean, Harley Quinn isn't even the most famous DC character, in my opinion. I mean, I think Batman or Superman is. So apart from 3 relatively known characters, a couple of famous actors, give them that. You don't really have anything in this movie what's going to stick out to an audience. But saying that, though, audiences are going wow for this movie. People are really excited for it. I'm not the only one. Honestly, at the same time, though, this film is getting great reactions. If we jump onto online a sec, give me a sec. Ooh, optical illusion. Just going to get the... Oh, someone's watching. Hello, who's watching by this way? Look at the reviews. On Rotten Tomatoes, 98%? Now it should be noted here. There's only been 61 reviews so far. Where does it say that? It says somewhere, if you give me a sec, there's cast and crew. Yeah, it said, okay, there's been 64 reviews so far. 64 is not bad, by the way, but there's been 65 reviews, there's been 64 reviews so far, and there's only been 1 negative review, and honestly, if you read that negative review, it sounds like it's a big MCU fan, by the way. Let's just read the negative review, shall we? The Guardians of the Galaxy style, I wonder if he's an MCU fan. The Guardians of the Galaxy style goofiness mixed in with lingering shot of maimed Lassange like innards feel queasy and all wrong. It's like someone exposing themselves at a wedding. I'm going to be honest, just from the first line of their review, I've got a feeling they're an MCU fan. I hate people who are just MCU fans and can't see past the MCU. Just get over it. The MCU, in my opinion, is not as great as it is anyway. But even if it is, just get over it. There's other movies out there. The MCU isn't the only, isn't the only place for movies out there. But I'm not going to get into that. That's neither here or there. But anyway, back onto the Suicide Squad. Let's read some of the other positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes so far. An epic that's adorable as it's violent. Gunn gets its gun. What's this? Gunn gels it together. What can we read there? Gunn gels it together with a wicked sense of humour and an evident affection for his characters, who, though not so endearing as his Guardians of the Galaxy, are a hoot to hang out with. And then we're going down here. And now that's how you do it. That's just one of the views. Apparently got a 4 out of 5 there. James Gunn gets that the Suicide Squad has to remain unprincipled and, most importantly, really very incredibly fun. I can't think of anyone better than James Gunn to have served up this hilarious mayhem without letting the whole thing slide into nihilism or lose touch with actual emotion and the body count. The Suicide Squad is probably the closest we'll get to a big budget trauma film released by a major studio, and it's high time we treasured it, warts and all. This is a movie where the US government hires a shark that talks like Sylvester Stallone to tear people in half, and it is sick. It is sick as hell. Oh god, I hate things like that. But anyway, it truly feels like Gunn's career has come full circle in this film, and I loved how wonderfully unhinged the Suicide Squad is at times, where Gunn's enthusiasm for crafting bizarre cinematic experience is fully on display from start to finish. And then we go back to some of the early reactions from about how long ago, a couple of weeks ago now. I really love the hashtag Suicide Squad. It's fun and gory and foul-mouthed like you'd expect, but it's also deeply tragic and heartfelt with an underlying kindness I absolutely didn't expect. It's just as much satire as it is shoots em up. More thoughts once I'm able to be truly wowed. Oh, but truly right, sorry, I read that a bit wrong. Got to see James Gunn's Suicide Squad tonight, an hilariously violent and heartfelt story that's surprising in all the right ways, enjoyable for everyone, hardcore DC comic fans and newbies alike. Go see this movie. The Suicide Squad is an epic all-out war movie that demands to be seen on the big screen. Gunn does it again with a hilarious cast of oddballs and underused comic characters. Big laughs, big action. DC has another winner on its hands. Going down here, absolutely love the Suicide Squad. The movie is super violent, extremely funny, and a huge home fun for James Gunn and DC. Tons of surprises and things I wasn't expecting. Just a great movie. The Suicide Squad is probably one of the wildest, wackiest, bloodiest comic movie I've ever seen. Very clear. They let James Gunn run wild and not hold back. Definitely gives Harley one of her best scenes, period. That's what I'm excited about. The fact that he just let James Gunn go wild with this film. Because James Gunn's a great filmmaker. He's also a very bizarre filmmaker, but he's a great filmmaker. And I'm very excited to see his vision of the Suicide Squad. Going to be one more comment out here. The Suicide Squad is as funny, irreverent, and violent as promised. What I liked best, though, was his heart. Gunn really balances the silly and the serious in a way that the two complement each other really well. I dug it. Also, King Shark rules. That's what people are basically saying about this movie, which has got me excited. I've got to admit, I'm really excited for this movie. I mean, it's at a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's the highest any DC movie has got since, the DC has started with, with Man of Steel, then into Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, then into all the other stuff as well. That's the highest a DC movie has ever got. I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman's high, and maybe Wonder Woman's like 92%, I'm not sure. The first one, Wonder Woman, not obviously not Wonder Woman 94, but the first Wonder Woman's still pretty high on Rotten Tomatoes, but the Suicide Squad is the highest so far. One of the things that has annoyed me with some of the reviews is some people are comparing it to Guardians of the Galaxy. Two different films. I'm not going to compare this movie to Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not actually. I take that back. I might compare in some very small aspects because it's done by the same filmmaker. But I don't like people who are going to compare this movie to Guardians of the Galaxy simply because it's a Marvel movie. In the end, DC and Marvel, okay, they may not be the same strand. In fact, I actually prefer DC in my opinion, but hey, that's just me. But the thing is though, DC and Marvel, yeah, they're a bit different, but at the same time, though, they're their own thing. I know when I watch the Suicide Squad, hopefully I'm not going to be thinking about Guardians of the Galaxy, which it sounds like some critics are, which is a bit annoying. I get James Gunn directed Guardians of the Galaxy and everything, but still, the Suicide Squad looks like its own thing. I'm very excited to see it, simply because it's James Gunn. I think it's an incredible filmmaker. I really enjoyed the Guardians of the Galaxy films. I even enjoyed Sliver, which is his horror film that he directed back in 2006. The cast looks incredible. We have Sylvester Stallone, voicing a talking shark. It just looks incredible. It just looks genius. The trailers look great. The trailers haven't blown me away, but they look very, very good in my opinion. And it just looks like a great film as well. One thing I'm very excited for as well, actually, is the soundtrack. James Gunn always has great soundtracks for his films. And, he did a great soundtrack for Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. And I'm very excited to hear his soundtrack for this film as well. Fingers crossed it's great. Fingers crossed I enjoy it. I'm seeing it tomorrow. It opens in the UK tomorrow. If you're watching this in the USA, I get to see it before you, because in the UK this film actually opens tomorrow, and in the US it actually opens in August the 6th. So they have to wait another week to get this film. We get it tomorrow in the UK. I'm very excited to see it, and that's the movie I'm seeing tomorrow night. And I'm very excited to see it tomorrow night, actually. But I'm even more excited, actually, to see them tonight. I'm seeing the Sparks for tonight, which is a new Edgar Wright film, by the way, which I'm very excited to see. And so I'm a big excited in this live stream today, because I'm very excited to go and actually watch a movie later on in the cinema this evening. But anyway, off topic there, but I'm excited at the moment because I'm going to the cinema twice in 1 day, twice in 2 days, twice in 2 consecutive days and everything. I haven't been to the cinema yet this week, and I'm very excited to go and see the Sparks Brothers, Edgar Wright's in the movie later on tonight. And I'm even more excited to go watch James Gunn's The Suicide Squad tomorrow. Hopefully it's a blast, and I'll be giving my thoughts on it probably either Saturday or Sunday on this channel. So look out for them. Look out for my review when it gets uploaded online. So that's the end of my first topic for today. So without further ado, let's get into my second topic. But just before I do, I'm gonna have a quick drink of water. My mouth's a bit dry today. Needed that actually. My mouth's got a bit dry for some reason. Ugh. But anyway, let's get into my second topic, shall we? And my second topic today isn't going to be as long. No, but my second topic today is my opinion on the new official trailer we had of Ghostbusters Afterlife a couple of days ago now. One Thursday today. I mean, I'm on holiday right now, so my days are getting a bit out of order. But one Thursday now, so the trailer actually got loaded on Tuesday, and I absolutely loved it. Honestly, I must admit here, Ghostbusters Afterlife, which is essentially, if you don't know already, the follow-on from Ghostbusters 2, which came out in 1989. This is not a follow-on from the female Ghostbusters, which came out in 2016. No, this is a follow-on from the Ghostbusters that came out in 1989, Ghostbusters 2, and then obviously a follow-on from the original Ghostbusters, which came out in 1984. This film is a continuation of the original Ghostbusters story, with Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, and so on and so on and so on, and Sigourney Weaver as well. That's what this film is a continuation of. Pardon me there. That's what I'm excited for off the bat. But I must admit, it hasn't been one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I've got to admit, every time I talk about my most anticipated movies of the year, I always forget about Ghostbusters Afterlife. Maybe it's because we haven't had much marketing of the film up to this point. We had one trailer a while back, but then obviously COVID came around, so the film got pushed back. And then we had like one little sneak peek of a clip of Paul Rudd in this movie, Ant-Man himself, Paul Rudd, with a little marshmallow scene in the film, I think. And that was actually quite good, but that was about a couple of months ago now. So we had a little sneak peek at this movie a couple of months ago, but finally, on Tuesday this week, we got our first official trailer for this movie. And honestly, I absolutely loved it. It's now become one of my most anticipated movies for this year. And that's saying something, because it was on the list, but I almost forgot to say it all the time I talk about most anticipated movies of the year. I always forgot about Ghostbusters Afterlife. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the original Ghostbusters because it's such an odd movie, but at the same time, though, it's so fantastic. It's a movie which uses comedy to move its story forward. I love film comedies like that, which, use their comedy to move the story forward. When you say it, when somebody asks you, and you're God, you say yes. I can't actually remember the line that well, but I might be paraphrasing a bit there. But I absolutely love that line in the movie, with Dan Aykroyd's character and everything, and Bill Murray's character. I think Bill Murray's wonderful in that film. I think Dan Aykroyd's wonderful, and Harold Ramis is wonderful. I forgot the black guy's called, but this guy's called Eddie in that film. He's great as well. Sigourney Weaver's great in that film as well. I really enjoyed the first film. I'm even someone who kind of enjoyed Ghostbusters 2. Only for some reason I kind of have a personal connection to it. I mean, I know a lot of people say Ghostbusters 2 is actually one of the most disappointing sequels I've ever seen. But the thing is, though, I kind of enjoy Ghostbusters 2. Only because I watched as a kid, and I enjoyed watching quite a lot as a kid. We have the walking Statue of Liberty and everything. It's a bit stupid, and it's nowhere near as good as the first, obviously, when I watch it now. But I enjoyed it when I watched as a kid, and that's kind of my personal connection to it. I don't think it's a bad movie, but I don't think it's good as the first one either. But this one looked great for the sole reason that it doesn't look just like a continuation of Ghostbusters 2. Because nowadays you couldn't have a movie where, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and the original Ghostbusters cast coming back and just doing the same thing all over again. First of all, Harold Ramis, who actually played Egon in the original two Ghostbusters films, is sadly no longer with us. He actually died a couple of years ago now. I can't actually remember when he died. Did he die it was a good couple of years ago now, actually. But sadly, Harold Ramis died, by the way. And so you don't have Egon in this film. And so that wouldn't work. Just bringing the original Ghostbusters cast back, it just would feel a bit silly. It'd be like, oh, really? We're doing this? So many years. Ghostbusters 2 came out in 1989. Ghostbusters 3, that's just essentially what this movie is, 2021. I assume it does still come out this year, by the way. And so it just would have been a bit silly getting the original Ghostbusters cast back together. But saying that, though, I mean, I was like the main part of the movie. But saying that, though, from what I've heard, the original Ghostbusters cast, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, the secretary, and I forgot the Eddie as well, they're all back in this movie having key roles. So they're not the centre of this movie from what I'm hearing, but they are back in the film with big main roles. And we even get a hint of that at the end of this trailer. We have that little moment at the end of this trailer where somebody rings up the Ghostbusters line that you see in all the when you see all the Ghostbusters adverts in the first Ghostbusters movie, like call Ghostbusters and things like that. When if strange things are happening in your house and things like that. When you have that in the first Ghostbusters movie, you watch the trailer by the way, you know exactly what I'm on about. There's a scene in the trailer where you see the line that you ring for the Ghostbusters and everything, and then somebody rings that line, and somebody picks up. We don't actually get to see who picked up. I'm assuming it's Dan Aykroyd from the voice. I might be wrong there, it might be Bill Murray, but you hear someone just go, "We're closed," and then put the phone down, hinting that the original Ghostbusters are coming back. There's even been some merchandise release actually, and which shows, and this is a very, very light spoiler here, but you kind of got to get, you kind of expect in this movie anyway, but here's a very light spoiler here, suggesting that the Ghostbusters, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray's character, and Eddie from the original movie as well, the three Ghostbusters that are still alive in real life, they're going to be back in their original Ghostbusters suit in this film. I've seen some merchandise already, and I'm very, very excited to see that. But the thing is, though, going back onto what I was talking about before, the thing I like about this trailer is that it looks like it isn't just a follow-on from Ghostbusters 2. It is at the same time, because obviously having some recurring characters, but it also looks like its own thing. Having all these new characters in now. You've got, I forgot what her name is now. The young girl, and actually quite a famous actress actually. You've got the young girl in there. I think it's meant to be like Egon's granddaughter, because actually we're following Egon's family in this film, which actually I like quite a lot, because like I talked about before, the guy who played Egon in the original Ghostbusters, Harold Ramis, he sadly died. So this film looks like it's going to be a bit of a tribute to Harold Ramis, which I like quite a lot. So the thing is, we're following we're following Egon's family there. So we have Egon's granddaughter in there. It looks like we have Egon's daughter and then Egon's grandson as well. And that's a character we follow. It looks like we're following Egon's family and everything, which I like quite a lot. It looks like it's its own thing. It looks like it's going to connect. And I know that sounds a bit cheesy and everything, but it looks like this is what the film is doing. The new generation of Ghostbusters to the old generation of Ghostbusters, which I like quite a lot. Honestly, it had a bit of a Stranger Things feel to it. I'm not just saying that because obviously Finn Wolfhard's in this film and everything. He plays Mike in Stranger Things and everything. The one that has a bit of a relationship with Eleven in Stranger Things and everything. And by the way, Stranger Things season 4, where the hell is that? We still haven't got a season 4 of Stranger Things, by the way. I'm waiting to see where we're finally going to get a trailer for Stranger Things season 4, because we haven't got one yet. But anyway, yeah, the guy who played Mike in Stranger Things, he's in this film as well. So it looks like it has a bit of Stranger Things feel to it, but in a kind of a good way, in my opinion. And I kind of like Stranger Things, so I'm happy about that. At the same time, though, it just looks really, really good in my opinion. I like the look of Paul Rudd in this film as well. Paul Rudd looks like he has a bigger role than I thought he was going to. Because Paul Rudd, when I did hear he was cast in this film, I heard he was cast as a teacher. And so my thoughts immediately went to, he's going to be playing a bit of a supporting role. Maybe like 1 or 2 or maybe at the most 5 scenes in the film. Actually, it looks like it's in quite a big character film, actually. And there's one scene in particular in the trailer where it looks like he's being chased by the Demogorgon. And I think that's what the Demogorgons for the first film. When the rocks that you see on the building turn into big, like, Demogorgons. I think that's what they are in the first film. And it looks like they're back in this film and chasing Paul Rudd's character. And at the same time, though, I like the look. I think it looks great. I really do. I don't really know what else to say about it, to be honest. The secretary that we saw in the original Ghostbusters, she's back in this trailer and everything as well. We saw a glimpse of her. We haven't seen a glimpse of any of the other stock characters either. Any of the other main characters from the original Ghostbusters. But I kind of like that because it's building a bit of an intrigue and everything. Obviously, we know they're back. Even Sigourney Weaver's apparently back as well. So I'm very excited to see it. The trailer did a lot for me. I'm not gonna lie, because of this trailer, it's become one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Honestly, I can't wait for it. I really can't actually now. It's coming out in November, which I'm very excited about. Hopefully it still just come out. Everything's a bit uncertain right now with, pardon me there, but everything's a bit uncertain out now because COVID's still bad and everything. The pandemic is still ongoing. But fingers crossed, this movie does still come out. Fingers crossed it's great, and fingers crossed everyone isn't disappointed by it, but like they were with the last Ghostbusters movie. I must admit, I can only get through about half the female Ghostbusters movie. I'm not one of those misogynists online who just goes, female Ghostbusters movie is crap because it's got female. No. I tried watching the female Ghostbusters movie, and I just found it boring and unfunny and just utterly rubbish, to be honest, I must admit. But, I've heard about some people enjoy it. I'm not one of those people online that can, trash that movie left, right, and centre. Because in the end, a lot of people spend time on that movie. It just wasn't for me, the 2016 female version of Ghostbusters. But saying that, though, fingers crossed this movie works for me as well. One other thing I'm going to say, which is kind of interesting about this movie, is the guy who directed the original Ghostbusters, Ivan Reitman, his son, Jason Reitman, is directing this movie. And so Ivan Reitman, the original Ghostbusters director, and also the director of Ghostbusters 2 as well, but let's ignore that a second. But the director of the original Ghostbusters, he's coming back to he's actually helping quite a lot of this movie. You've watched those behind-the-scenes featurette released about a week or 2 ago, where we see Ivan Reitman and Jason Reitman behind the scenes of the new Ghostbusters, and that's quite exciting. So the guy who directed the original Ghostbusters is helping quite a lot with this one, but also the fact that his son, Jason Reitman, is the director of this new film, and Jason Reitman, if done already, is a well-established director as well. He's done quite a lot of good films as well. So I'm excited for it as well because it's being done by it's being done by the son of the person who does the first one. And if you've read some interviews from Jason Reitman about the new Ghostbusters movie, you can tell how much he's really excited about people seeing his vision. Fingers crossed it works. Hopefully it's great, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in November of this year. Fingers crossed it's still to come out. And so that's topic number 2 over with today. So without further ado, let's move into topic number 3. And my third topic today, coming on with Sony a bit, is my opinion, where I think the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer is. And why we haven't got one yet. Personally, I don't think we have a trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home yet, because I think Sony, the production company of the film, the people who in charge of all the marketing of the film, and I think in charge of all the distributing the film, I think they're happy, and this is a speculation, I think they're happy with the way the hype is at the moment. Now, bear in mind, you should also bear in mind as well that this movie is coming out in 6 months' time. We've got a while till the movie comes out yet. And, before then, we've got, Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. We've got Ghostbusters Afterlife, which Sony will be marketing as well. And by the way, I should say this, when I was actually watching the trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife this morning again, because I think it's a brilliant trailer, when I was watching it again this morning, I was reading the comments, and there's about, 100 comments saying, where is a trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home? People can wait. But, I mean, I'm excited for it, but I can wait still. But the reason I've made this a topic today is because I had this little theory that I came up with this morning. I'm not going to make this like a big, long topic, because I might be completely wrong here. And maybe, as I do this topic in this live stream today, the new trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home, my most anticipated movie for this year, comes out as I'm talking today in this live stream. I don't think that's going to happen, but maybe it does. You never know. But anyway, yeah. The reason I think we haven't got a trailer yet is because I think Sony is happy with the hype at the moment. And what I mean there is simply, I think the rumours are true. And I think Sony is building up this hype because they want people to be speculating that much. Because I honestly think that all the rumours we're hearing are true. Maybe not all of them, but I think that 75% of the rumours, and this is a random statistic by the way, 75% of the rumours, a random statistic I just came up with, but 75% of the rumours are true about this movie. I honestly think that, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are back in the movie, regardless of that interview which Andrew Garfield did. I still think he's in this movie, by the way. I think Tobey Maguire is definitely in this movie. I don't know why I think Tobey Maguire definitely is, but I think he is. I think there's a good chance Andrew Garfield's in there. I think there's even a good chance that, we have Emma Stone back and Kirsten Dunst back as well. And obviously we know that, Alfred Molina's returning as Dr. Octopus. That's been confirmed by the Hollywood Reporter, a very reliable source. We also know that Jamie Foxx is returning as Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2 into this film. And there's some rumours as well going around. I know there's actually been some kind of confirmations as well, but there's been some rumours going around that Willem Dafoe is returning as a Green Goblin as well, which I'm very excited about. That might... If that's true, then if Willem Dafoe's in this movie, then we have literally the two best Spider-Man villains we've had on screen so far in one movie together. In one movie together, which is very, very exciting. We have Willem Dafoe as a Green Goblin and Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus in the same movie. That'll be so exciting. It really will be. And at the same time, though, there's even some rumours that Sandman's going to be in it from Spider-Man 3. There's even some rumours as well that the Lizard, played by Reese Ifans, is going to be in this movie as well, from the Lizard from the first Amazing Spider-Man film. But again, these are all rumours, so do take it all with a grain of salt. I'm not confirming anything here. Heck, it's just me. I'm just running YouTube online. But anyway, get my point. I think Sony is happy with the hype, though. I think they're happy with the hype. I think they're happy with the theorising and everything. And that's why they're not releasing a trailer. Because I think they want people to theorise here. I think they're holding for a trailer because they want to hear more of these rumours come out. Now, I might be wrong here, but it just feels a bit weird. Like, so many times online nowadays, I'm hearing all these rumours going, okay, Spider-Man No Way Home trailer is releasing on, let's say, July 22nd, and then it didn't. And then we're apparently going to get a new trailer. Apparently going to get the first trailer for the movie on August the 1st. Apparently that's when it's finally going to come out. I still have my doubts. Because I think they're happy with the way people are theorising. I think they know about the marketing. I think they know about the fans and everything. I think they know what the fans want. Bear in mind, Kevin Feige, the producer of, the head of Marvel Studios, is still heavily involved in this film, and he is a huge comic book fan. He knows what the fans want, and I think he knows what the fans want with this movie as well. I think the Sony executives know what I think the Sony executive knows what the fans. I think that kind of speak. I think the Sony executives know what the fans want in this movie as well. I think everyone knows what the fans want in this movie, and so I think they're holding it back because they want that hype to build. So when that trailer does eventually come out, I think that trailer's going to go wild, by the way. I think that trailer's going to break the internet, and not only that, I think they're going to confirm something in the first trailer. Again, just pure speculation, but I think we're going to get some big confirmations of that first trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. I think we're going to get the confirmation that Willem Dafoe is returning to Green Goblin. I think we might even have the confirmation that, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in this movie. Again, pure speculation, but still, it just makes you wonder why they're holding the trailer a bit. Because I think they're going to reveal some big things, and as soon as they do that, I think, as soon as they reveal the big things in the first trailer, I think that's going to lead to even more theorising, and possibly even more, theories that lead to the confirmation of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield being in this movie. And that's why I think Sony are holding off the trailer, because I think they like the hype at the moment. They like where the hype is. They like where the theorising is, because everyone's on the money. And if I'm wrong there, bear in mind, and if Sony are holding off the trailer because they don't like the hype, they don't like that people think that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be in this movie, because actually they're not in this movie. If that's the case, then Sony's in a lot of trouble, and so is Marvel as well. Because you can imagine the backlash when, Spider-Man No Way Home comes out, and Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire aren't in this movie. Imagine the backlash. Imagine all these Marvel fans going into Spider-Man. Because that's what the majority of Spider-Man fans are going to be like come Christmas this year. In the end, I want them to be in the movie, but I'll still go into it expecting a Tom Holland, Spider-Man film in the end. But there's going to be the majority of Spider-Man fans, and the majority of just comic book fans in general, who go into this movie at Christmas expecting to see Tom Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and if they're not in there, the movie's crap. And that's going to be interesting to see what happens, whether they are in the movie or whether they're not. And honestly, I think they are. I think they are, because Sony is holding back on marketing, because they know that if they release too much marketing, people will start to realise that yes, they're definitely in this movie, and they'll start to theorise, okay, that means that they kind of got to be in this movie. And the reason I've always thought that they are going to be in this movie, I'm one of the people who does believe that Andrew Garfield and Tom Maguire are both going to be in this movie. And the reason I think that is because it would be like the elephant in the room. We know that Alfred Molina is returning. We know that Alfred Molina is returning as Dr. Octopus. We know that Jamie Foxx is returning as Electro, and it's been heavily rumoured that Willem Dafoe is returning as Green Goblin as well. Imagine those three villains being in this film, but not having the people they faced off against. It'd be like the elephant in the room, when Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin faced off against Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and then maybe he realises that it's not Tom Maguire's Spider-Man. What's he going to say then? Oh, I faced off you again before, but you now look a bit different. And it'd be a bit like the elephant in the room if they weren't in this movie, but the villains were. And it's just, I don't know. I think the trailer's nigh, by the way. I think we're going to get a trailer very, very soon. Definitely sooner rather than later, because I think the trailer is not only going to play before Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, which is the next Marvel movie coming out, but I think it's also going to play before Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, as well. So, I think we'll get a trailer very, very soon. I don't know that, but I hope we do as well. And I just think they're holding off in marketing because they like the theorising, and they like people, theorising the idea that these characters are returning, because I think they are. And also, let's bear in mind the Loki finale, which pretty much opened up the multiverse, and that's going to be very interesting going forward. And bear in mind, we've got Shang-Chi, we've got the Eternals, and maybe those movies go into multiverse a bit, but we pretty much already got confirmation that the multiverse is happening in Spider-Man No Way Home, with Alfred Molina returning as Dr. Octopus, with Jamie Foxx returning as Electro, and with, I've also got to mention this, J.K. Simmons coming back as J. Jonah Jameson. He's even confirmed in an interview that he is returning to play that character in the new Spider-Man coming out this Christmas. Fingers crossed I'm correct, because hopefully we do get to see Tom Maguire and Andrew Garfield back, even if it's just one last time in the new Spider-Man this Christmas. I can't wait to see that movie, by the way. I'm not a fan of the MCU movies in general, and the thing is, though, I'm not a huge comic book fan in general either. But the thing is, though, I've enjoyed the Spider-Man films I've watched so far. I really enjoy the two Spider-Man films, the two Tom Maguire Spider-Man films I watched so far. I'm going to actually watch Spider-Man 3 quite soon, and hopefully review on this channel quite soon as well. The thing is, though, I've enjoyed Spider-Man 1, I enjoyed Spider-Man 2. From what I can remember, I kind of enjoyed the first Amazing Spider-Man, didn't really enjoy the second one that much, but, I enjoy Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and I really enjoyed the Tom Holland Spider-Man films in the MCU so far as well. I really enjoyed Spider-Man Homecoming, and I really enjoyed Spider-Man Far From Home as well, although I didn't enjoy it as much as Homecoming, but I still enjoyed it. But that's kind of why it's my most anticipated movie of the year, because I'm enjoying Tom Holland Spider-Man film so far. We know Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus returning. We know all these rumours and everything. We've heard all these rumours anyway. And just, the more I hear about it, the more excited I get about it. And I'm not entirely sure why, because I never grew up reading the Spider-Man comics or anything like that. But the movies caught me by surprise. I've enjoyed them. And fingers crossed, this Christmas, we get thoroughly surprised and in the best way possible. And also, fingers crossed, we get a trailer soon. Because I'm going to be completely on my speculation. And actually, maybe we do get a trailer. And maybe it actually debunks all these theories and rumours we've thought about recently about that maybe Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be in this movie. Maybe we get a first trailer, and maybe it completely debunks the fact that they're actually in this movie. But who's to say? We'll have to wait till the first trailer is released. But until then, fingers crossed they're in this movie, and fingers crossed When Spider-Man No Way Home comes out at Christmas, it's great. And that's the end of topic number 3 on this live stream today. So that's the end of my live stream. I saw I did have one person watching at some point, but now I currently have 0 people watching right now, and that's fine. But if you are watching this on playback, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I know I'm blown a bit and stuff like that, but I do like to go into detail, especially on these live streams, more than I do on my film reviews. But nevertheless, thank you for watching, and if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like, subscribe on this live stream, and look forward to many more both film and TV reviews and live streams coming very soon on this channel. And also remember, if you want me to talk about anything in particular in my next live stream, please do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably talk about it in my next live stream coming quite soon on this channel. I don't know when my next live stream is going to be on this channel actually, but it'll probably be sooner rather than later, so look forward to that coming very soon on this channel. But until then guys, thank you for watching, and see you guys again soon. Bye for now. Bye.